Hello, good evening. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So, madam, shall we start the session?
Good evening, sir. Gaurav sir, welcome.
Welcome, good evening, sir. Ajay sir, कैसे हैं?
Sir, बिल्कुल ठीक. How are you, sir?
I am fine also.
Yes, sir. Please start the session.
Okay,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you all participants, and good evening to all.
So, once again, welcome and good evening to all of you in this 10 days workshop in cyber security and capacity building in cyber security and cyber investigation. Now, today we are just going through a few new things related to the cyberspace. We all are using this cyberspace and internet and world wide web, but few things we are using, but we are not aware of that and familiar with this terminologies. So today we are just going to discuss and draw more light on this terminology, how it works and where it is working behind our web surfing and in the cyberspace, and how investigation process is going through, and what are the logs or key points through which we can make a breakthrough as far as the investigation is concerned. So I am disabling my video, and because proper connectivity procedures in the internet, uninterrupted internet connectivity, and then I am just enabling my screen share with you, and then we'll start the session. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Fine, thank you. So now my presentation first slide is visible in full mode to all of you. Now today we are just discussing the internet terminology. So we are using this cyberspace and interacting various interactions through a various modes of connecting to each other. The interaction includes a variety of day-to-day activities, from retrieving data, message upholding, community networks, online investment and spending, and by various social media sites like Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Amazon. Through these communications and an extraordinary lifestyle group information made, including the online purchase, dealing with web surfing, message design, records of websites and visits, and shopping histories and mass media likes. So through in the process, meanwhile, we are using this kind of terminology, but we are not aware of that, what kind of platform we are using and what are the technologies working behind it. So today we are discussing it, because if we are going for the cyber investigation and cyber security procedures also, one has to be first uh, clear his or her doubts about this technology, how it works and why it works and where it works, and what kind of data that they are consuming meanwhile we are using this kind of technology, and what kind of network log or IP logs or other records they are just collecting from our day-to-day surfing when meanwhile we are using this all medias. So today we are coming in with the first thing is that we are just thinking about the URL. So everybody is know that what is URL, that is universal resource locator. This is the path, or we can say the address of a particular website or web page or web documents available in the cyberspace. So usually we just type it that particular address on the address bar of any of the internet browser, and then we'll get the files and get the things available on that particular procedures. So what are this? So there are anatomy of the URL, because before we are going that we are not simply blindly use the URL, but we have to be very careful about that. There are the different blocks and different parts of the URL, which is more important to know. The first block, the first part of the URL is our protocols. That is HTTP. Usually we used to type the website's name like google.com, but automatically it will redirect us to the unknown protocol. That protocol is known as hypertext transfer protocol. In the short form, it is coming before our website's name, that is before the World Wide Web, HTTP. Another thing is that www. World Wide Web, we know that this is the World Wide Web is now, it's a consortium, it's a group of uh, bodies which made the rules to going on the internet. And then another part of that URL is the name of the particular website, and after the dot, that is the domain. So how and why it is important? Because nowadays most of the frauds are making, or we can say committing, using this kind of URLs in this kind of websites. So what is the role of URL in that? So hypertext transfer protocol, many a times people used to say that HTTP, that hypertext transfer protocol, means a group of this is the one of the protocol or rules, we can say that some code of conduct, some rules before we are going to internet. So we are just blindly just using the URL. We are not sometime concentrating and focusing on this HTTP. I'm taking you example. Suppose we are going for any website. Suppose here I any website names. Suppose we can say that www.cybercrime.gov.in. So once we enter it, that cybercrime. So I just typed this www.cybercrime.gov.in. Once we click here, automatically that hypertext transfer protocol is coming. But you may aware of that how and why we can say that this URL is safe and protected. So there are some technology working behind it. So you may have seen that this address bar here. If I can make this web page more larger, so you can be so here in the address bar, that before the name of the website, that is HTTP is the protocol name, and this what that S is stand for. Can anyone answer me what is the meaning of this S available here?
Sir, it's a secure, or we can say it's uses SSL, secured socket layer.
Very good. See, there are three works we have to done before we are just making our website on air. One is the development of the website. Means you can hire some person, or you yourself is just use any theme nowadays, that the ready-made websites, or we can say themes, are available. These themes are known as templates. So you can use any one of these templates, and then only you have to change, and you have to enter your organization name and detail related to your organization. So these templates are known as WordPress. One is the platform is WordPress, another is Joomla is also there. So you can make that desktop application. But after the making this web development, you need one PC which is 24/7 by 365 on and on and on. So you need a one PC which is keeping your websites and make it available for all over the world 24/7 by 365. So our PC, my home PC or your home PC is not 24/7 is open. Even we can on our PC and we can put our website on our PC also, but many a time the power cut is there. So even if though we have that UPS system, or we can say that generator also, but it will take some times to shift from that UPS or the DG diesel generator. So in that case, even if we are ready to open our system 24/7 at our home, it is not feasible for us to keep our website in our own system. So what we need to do, we need to search a one system. That system is known as server. So we used to request that system that please keep our website, and we will give you some money, some rent. That is something known as, we used to purchase the server space on the server, web server. That is why server space we used to purchase from any of the service provider, and we usually keep our website on that particular system, which is 24 by 7 by 365, on and on and on, so everybody can get our websites. Now after that, occupying that server space and putting our website, before that we have to register our website with our genuine name, or related to name to our products. Like this name is cybercrime, so this website is related to cybercrime, so the name is the cybercrime, or Global, or India Times, or any other Rediff. This kind of name we can suggest for our website, as per the nature, as per the business which we are dealing with. And with the name, we have to register our website with one domain name also. Domain name is, this is the domain name available. So I'm coming to that point. After the registering, after the putting the name, we have to register our website with the one domain name. This is .com. So there are different domain names available with us. So every domain name has a suffix, indicates the top level domain. There are only limited numbers of such domain, for the example. And this domain name is also specify the nature of the website. Suppose if my website is .com, means I am doing some commercial business with this is having the information related to some commercial business of this website. If I'm working with the government, if I am a government unit or a sub-government unit, so my domain name supposed to be .gov, means it is easily identify with my business of my nature of my business with the domain name. So that's why the more appropriate domain name you supposed to opt with your name of your website. Suppose Google is commercial website, so Google is the name of the website and domain name is com.com, and it is specified specifically for Google server for India. So the country domain is also nowadays applying, so google.co.in. So same case with the educational institution, they're supposed to opt the domain name .edu. If we are having that non-profitable organizations like any social service, or we can say we have an NGO, so .org, or even the semi-government also. So .org is the domain we can opt. But all the government directly websites or the businesses related to the governments supposed to and should be having the domain name .gov. At the same time, the academics institution .ac is also one appropriate domain name. So accordingly, we have to choose the domain name and we have to register this domain name. See, this domain name is registering for the website. Suppose I'm just showing the website. Net India. So official website for Runet India educational and research work. So from here, that Runet India, you can register your domain name with Runet India, and this is also for 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. So this is just like your SIM subscriber identity module SIM card. If you just opt that mobile SIM card, but you are not recharging it timely or not using it, it will be allotted to another one. The same case with the domain name also. So every year, so there are 3 schemes every year's renewal process, 3 years renewal process, or 5-year renewal process will be there in the domain name. According to your institution, according to your nature of your business, if you are not frequently changing this thing, you can also opt for maximum years, that is 5 years. So your domain name will be every 5 years you have to be renewed accordingly. And otherwise, then after the 1 month, if my due date is suppose May, so government will give you organization will give you 1 more month to think and decide that whether you are continuing with this domain or not. If even though receiving the mail from the concerned authorities and bodies, you are not interested to pursue or continue your domain name, next 2 to 3 months it will be allotted to another one. That is why that new type of cyber crime is emerged, that is something called cyber squatting. Cyber squatting means this online predators means the online criminals, they are just keep watching eye on your domain name. If you are a famous, if you are a renowned institute organizations, so they are just keeping eye on that the renowned institutions, companies and corporates domain names, and when it will be expiring, and as and when they got a chance to check your domain name, whether suppose your domain name is now expiring in May, and if somebody in your organization and not taking care of this timely, so they themselves registered your domain name, and then they will ask you a ransom money to reissue that domain name, or we can say this to get free this domain name for you. Otherwise they will keep continue your domain name, and then they will materialize your goodwill. So that's why every 3 years, every 5 years, you have to renew this domain name. So domain name maybe, so this is the anatomy of that uh, URL, that is universal, uniform resource locator. So again, this is the full URL available in the website. So first is protocol, second is World Wide Web. The Dev's computer is the name of the domain name. Domain name is the company name, and top domain is commercial. That's why it's .com. Newsletter is the folder available on this particular website, and the file name is 2007 0915, and .php is the extension of that particular web page. So this is the full path and meaning of each and every letter in your URL. So URL also having a few types. One is this URL is something called very fair URL. The messy URL is also coming. Messy URL means the URL, so with its name you can't even predict that this URL is uh, meant for what. So you can't see and can't check many a times that this fishy URL uh, issued, or we can say created by the cyber criminals, to keep in mind that people may not diagnose or identify that URL on the name, on the basis of the name of the URL. So that's why they may got confused and then clicked on that URL, and then they will trap and they will get information. I can give you example of that how can your information steal by this cyber predators. I'm just demonstrating you. Before that, Ajay sir, are you connected with us? So I need one person's mobile number. Anyone who is not knowing to me can give his or her mobile number to me. So I have to store their number, save their number in my mobile number, and then I'll do something and demonstrate you how your information can be stealed by this cyber criminal. So can anyone give their mobile number to me right now? कोई sir, कोई madam?
Sir, it's a Dilip.
हाँ दिलीप सर, आपका नंबर बताइए प्लीज, मोबाइल नंबर
9454
9454
01
01
88
88
44.
44. It is 945401 8844. दिलीप सर,
Yes,
मैं
sir.
आपका फॉर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन पर्पस में आपका नंबर
No problem. No problem,
स्टोर
sir.
कर रहा हूँ, एंड यू विल गेट वन मैसेज ऑन योर व्हाट्सएप. आप व्हाट्सएप पर हैं?
Yes, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू. मैंने आपका नंबर सेव किया. नाउ आई एम ओपनिंग माय व्हाट्सएप, क्योंकि मुझे आपको यूआरएल सेंड भी करना होगी. So I'm just logging my WhatsApp web. Meanwhile, I'm demonstrating you how your information can be stealed by this cyber criminal. One site is there. This is freeware. I'm just Grabify. The name of website is Grabify. So Grabify IP logger and URL shortener. I'm just clicking on that. This is the freeware tool available on the net. Here, suppose I am sending you a URL for Facebook, facebook.com. Create a URL. I'm just creating URL to get your information, your device information, and then I'll demonstrate you how easy it is to take. So this is the fishy URL I have created, and then I'll copy and I'll send you Dilip sir. So you can click on that and I'll get a few information related to your device. I can also change this URL because grabify.link something someone can easily identify. So I can change this to some gaming or something called gamer.tattoo, or we can say the shipment or something like that. So there are few things available, few titles available through which I can. So I choose gamer.tattoo so easily, and then extension also one PNG. So you will be thinking that this is the PNG file of that gaming. And so now my URL is also changed. You can see here https the gamer.tattoo 4k8rvn.png. So anyone on may not be get an idea about that what this URL is meant for. This is a fishy URL, messy URL. I'll just copy it, go to my WhatsApp, search Dilip sir's name. So here I search. Yes, Dilip sir. I send hi. So I send hi, and along with this hi, I'm just pasting this URL to Dilip sir on his WhatsApp. I can also send this URL to his Facebook Messenger as well as his email also. So once Dilip sir, I'm just requesting you, you may got WhatsApp one URL on WhatsApp. Please open this, click on that URL.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. It's open.
Open. So facebook.com will be seen to you.
Yes, sir.
Here, I just refresh my page, the same page where I created this URL. You may be surprised that it is loading now. It is already loading. So you are just using that Bharti Airtel SIM with you.
Yes, sir.
Isn't
Actually,
it?
it's a broadband connection.
But it is Airtel connection basically.
Yes, sir.
So this is the information. This timing is also there when you click that URL. That is UTC, that Universal Coordinate Time. We can add that 5.5 hour adding this on this time. So we will get the actual time when you click that URL. So here also that Android mobile. So Mozilla and Android 11 and mobile number is RV109. So this kind of information easily one can get from your device. Even in the few tools, you can even identify the device name also. Even the how much battery is remaining on that device, that is also you can easily get from this kind of Grabify softwares and tools available freely on the internet. So That's why we are just rushing and telling that please do not click unknown URL, unknown link. It is coming through various modes, whether it is coming through the LinkedIn profile or your Facebook or your Instagram ID or your WhatsApp. And do not think that the name of the URL will be correct. Anyone can edit this URL. I already shown you. I showed you that I can even still edit this URL. And now this time I just even Toes Beauty, and then I just created, so the Toes Beauty, that URL is already changed. Even I can change also the PNG. Instead of PNG, I can have that GIF image or PSD or text, something called so .txt. So you may be thinking that this is a txt file, and if I just create it here and send to the again Dilip sir. Sir, please click on that URL also.
Okay, sir.
Same page will be open, the Facebook, because we already mentioned the facebook.com. So this is not compromise your security, only that information is getting.
No problem at all, sir. Yes, sir. It's open.
Fine. Now I am just refreshing this page. Again, this will show me that on what time you have already clicked. So now this is telling me. So अभी आपने आइडिया से किया क्या सर?
No, sir. It's the same.
भारती से किया?
No, sir. Same network.
Same
Actually,
network.
yeah.
So this much information will get anytime, or you can send this URL to anyone and you can get the information from anyone. And this is fishy URL, and this is created for the short time of period and for the short span, and it will get all your information and again dissolve it. So if I just closed it, that this URL will be no more. So this is the thing you have to keep in mind. Now we are coming to another thing. When we used to connect the internet, you are not directly connected to internet. Once you go to the browser and only type here Google, so directly not Google page is usually coming. Even also you used to type here the network ID of Google, that is 8.8.8.8. The same Google page will appear. What it means? It means you can call Google with the help of their name also, and you can call google.com with the help of their network ID and IP address also. So now I am coming to the next terminology, DNS, that is domain name server. What is DNS? See, once you have established a connection for internet and you are sending something to someone, or even you are searching something on the internet, you usually type your request and give your request to your web browser. Web browser may be a Mozilla Firefox, maybe a Google Chrome, maybe a Internet Explorer, maybe Safari, maybe a UC browser. So so you just type the query, the web address, and it will shown to you. This is your thinking. But meanwhile, this process, there are something happening. First, you and me is working or acting just like a web user. So user usually just type that request to the web server. Suppose here, from here, I'm just typing the www.google.com. So it is directly goes to the web server, but web server denied to give the web page related to google.com or the home page of google.com. It will revert back to your browser and ask IP for the google.com. So your browser asks to the server to whom I supposed to get this IP, because I do not have IP. The user only type the name of that website, not the IP address, because everybody is not knowing. So all over the world, all the websites which are stored in the web servers of worlds. All the websites are stored not with the name, they are named and they are stored in the web server on the name of IP address. So your server usually asks to you, your browser, IP address of google.com. So your browser asks to the server to whom I supposed to ask that IP address. So it shows and it tells that there is another server which is only capable of to give the IP address to the all worldwide web, all the websites available on the world wide web. So that machine is only keeping the IP address of each and every websites, each and every IDs. So you just type the google.com. So first your browser goes to the DNS, the domain name server, and asks the IP address of desired or required website. It will give you the desired IP address, that is 10.1.0.1. Again, your browser go with that IP address to the web server, and web server, on the basis of the IP address, because all over the world's websites here in the web server stored in the with the help of IP address, not on the name of their own name. Just like in the traffic department, we have a RTO. So all the vehicles are registered with their registered number, registration number, not with their brand name, whether it is a Maruti, whether it is a Tata, whether it is a Honda City, whether it is a Safari, or whether it is a Audi or any other luxury Toyota. So all vehicles are registered on the RTO's server with the registration number, not with the car brand name or their model name or their color. Likewise, all the websites are stored with the help of one IP address, not with their name, even though it is for only our understanding. So we used to, because we are capable of to remember 100 websites name, but if somebody asks you to only remember the 50 IP addresses of 50 different websites, it is difficult for us to remember different 50 IP addresses for different websites. So for us, it is easy and convenient way to remember the website by their name instead of their IP address. But in the technical mechanism of the web server, all the websites are stored with the on one IP address, and all websites are also stored in the web server, not in the form of hypertext transfer protocol, or we can say not in the HTML format. All the websites are stored in the web server in the another format, that is .asp format, something called, the full form of ASP is active server pages. So all the websites of the world is stored in the web server in the .asp format, not the HTML format. So once you request to the first your request from your browser goes to the DNS server, and DNS server will give you the IP address, and again you go to the web server and ask, and on the basis of your request you will get the response from the web server, and your website will be appear on your desktop or your laptop or your mobile screen. This is the standard procedure every time happen, but this process, it's happened in nano to nanoseconds, means a tenth part of a second is called nano. So tenth part of the tenth part of a second means you can imagine that how quickly this process is happening or going on. So we can't even observe that this is the procedure to access any website or any other web content which is you are asking from with the help of your browser. So now we are understanding what is the role of DNS. DNS is the one server which is keeping all the IP addresses, all the website of the world. Every time once you type the websites, your browser is requesting to the DNS. DNS will give the IP address of particular websites. Like I told you that IP address of a network ID of google.com is 8.8.8. So you type the google.com, but DNS give the IP address 8.8.8 to the browser, and then again browser keep that IP address and again request to the server with this time not with the name, this time with the 8.8.8, and server searches that 8.8.8 in his and its database. And to search this query in the database, there are few mechanism is working. See, in our system, the software which is running in our system, we used to call this software the client side application or client side software. And the server end, there is another application is working, that is something called server side applications. So the server requests the CGI or Perl languages available, that is something called server side scripting languages. These scripting languages are meant to convert the desired web pages from .asp format to HTML format, from the server's understable form to the user's understable form. So behind the server also there are scripting languages are working. So these are just like working as the medical shop owner. The server is acting just like a medical shop owner. So what usually happen if you are going for taking a tablet or a syrup or a lotion or ornament for your health to the medical shopkeeper owner, you just ask, you just give them a prescription, and they just transfer that slip to their subordinate, and subordinate searches from various shelf and various boxes to the particular tablet or particular ointment for you, and give it to the counters person, the owner, and owner will give you the desired tablet or ointment, and you are just keeping and using that tablets. Just like you are asking for any websites, it goes first to the server. Server is acting like a shopkeeper owner, and server shifted and request to the scripting languages, server side scripting languages called Perl and CGI, to search that web page in the database. And these scripting languages searches your desires IP address in the database, and once they got, it will convert it, because in the server these websites are stored in a different format, that is .asp. It converts your web pages into your understanding form, that is HTML, and give it to the server, and server will give to you, and then the website is appearing and showing in your monitor or your screen. This is the standard process. This is something called client server computing. So in this whole process, we act as a web user. Our browser is act as a client, because we are not interacting directly to the server without the client, without the browser. So it is the browser which is interacting with the server. That is why the browser is known as the web client, and server is known as the web server in the case of website. So each time this standard procedure happened. So first we go, these are the different IP addresses. For our understanding, it is a green PC or blue PC or red or yellow or orange. For a server, these are all IP addresses. So if you ask to the server, you have to go with send your request with the IP address, not with the name itself, and which converts the websites into the IP address, that is DNS. So you can now got the idea about that. What is the importance of DNS, especially in our case? Now I am going to the another things, search engines. So many times we use that term search engines. So how many search engines you know that? One is Google, one is Bing, one is DuckDuckGo, one is so there are different search engines available, and these search engines also eating your information. Each time you type this search, anything search, not only with the search, your machine's configuration, your IP address, your port, your internet connection gateway, it is also registering and keeping and storing by these search engines. So usually this information is called the banner information. So every time you establish a connection to a search engine, whether it is a DuckDuckGo, whether it is a Google Chrome, or whether it is a Bing. So this happening always. There are few more search engine is also there as far as the ethical hacking is concerned. So they are not using this search engine. They are another search engines, which is also known as the hackers search engine. That is something called Shodan. Shodan is the another search engine which is used by the especially for the hackers to get more and more information. Basically, this Shodan search engines shows you if you are just asking or searching the content on this Shodan on the basis of their uh, name or their ports. So it also shows you that how many ports are open, how many uh, ports are available for you for hacking purpose. I can give you example also. You can see here if I ask Shodan search engine. So Shodan search engine, you have to first either you're supposed to log in if you are already created your ID here. You have to first sign up. You have to create your ID on the Shodan. This is the paid version. The free version is not available. On the free version, I can demonstrate you something that you can search something on related to that Shodan. Suppose if I just wish to ask how many webcam is available and how many webcam available in open port, I can type my search here, webcam. Now I can also search from port also, like port 21, port 38. So it will shows you the how many ports available. See now 26 result worldwide. It shows you 26 results, and these are the IP addresses. Once you click on these IP addresses, you can also see how many ports are opens in that particular IP address. This is the IP address, the public IP address we are just getting on internet from the Shodan. So it shows that this IP address is opening port 21. Port 21, you know that port 21 is for FTP. Port 22, 53, port 84, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP for that 110, 143, 443, 465. The different ports are available. So these are the vulnerabilities. These are the vulnerable ports through which one can easily enter their particular. Even it shows the vulnerability also here. It shows the how much vulnerability is available on these sites. So this will give you an idea. Even this will give you here also that in the ports, how many 9 port 80s open, 443, 8 ports open, 53 ports open. Where the name of the organization also the British Airways, that name chip, that Trans IP, that Daisy Corporate. Here also the product also the Apache, which kind of server they are using, the Apache, the XM, the Microsoft Internet Information Server, again Apache Tomcat 1. So it is also showing that what kind of server technology they are using and what kind of operating system they are using. The two system are using the MikroTik router and two systems is using Windows operating system. So search engines are, you are just simply thinking that search engines are helpful, they are your friend, but you have to keep in mind this search engine is also keeping your information, recording your recording your information and your searches also. Even though you are not making it search also, Google record that also. Suppose if I'm going here, new tab I'll open, I tab here, accident, bomb, RDX. Even I could not do search. Then also it has recorded that on 5:45 p.m. 5th of May, uh, 2nd of May, I can type this, and even though I could not enter the search button, also it is recording all those things which I am typing on the search engines. If you wish to see this activities, what kind of things it is already recorded, so you have to just type on the Google and type here my Google activity. Even though you have cleared the all browsing history also from the browser, then also Google record many things related to you, my Google activity. If I type here my Google activity, if I entered it, it will show the welcome to the my Google activity, because here I am already logged in. If you are not logged in, you have to log in with your Gmail ID. It will shows you the day wise things, who searches what. So on 30th April, this watched this, and the sporting techniques, all the things, all the videos, all the PDF you have downloaded from this PC. It is showing how many videos, how many and what kind of videos also. Everything here on your Google activity. Though I have created or I have cleared all the browsing history also, but Google knows on which date and how much, how which time, 10:25 p.m. So all the things which is search from this PC, it is coming, even the which clip from which portal, which song, which video song, which tutorial, which website, which PDF you downloaded, is all having here. Whosoever is used, maybe used by your family member, maybe used by your friend, maybe used by some of your colleagues, maybe your kids, whatever it is. This activity is keeping all the record, all the here available. So you can understand that how much risky is to search. So now, from now, if you have searching something, you have to be keep in mind this search engines is also risky things to search. So that is why something called, we used to say, that is something that is known as cyber hygiene. So you have to keep the cyber hygiene. Cyber hygiene means what? All the searches, all the surfing, all the records you have searches, all the videos you have watched, all the PDF you have downloaded, this is your digital footprints. Digital footprints means if the law enforcement agency come, even though you have cleared your history also, they can also access various things in your system, from your system, and then they will get that on so and so date you have downloaded so and so thing. What do you mean by this? What do you understand by this? What is your intention to download this? If you are continuously searching president, IDX, bomb, one or another security agency may got you, and they may ask you that what is the intention behind the searching this kind of thing. Are you interested to learn how to make bomb, how to use RDX? So you have to be very careful before using this internet, because I yesterday also one madam asked me, I told privacy is myth in this cyberspace. If you are online, means everybody, how many server, how many PCs through the internet is coming to your PC. Each and every PC, each and every server is having one log file. Log file means which is having one record file indexing which web page, which site, what kind of content you have downloaded, what kind of content you have copied, each and everything. It is keep record with your activity. So you have to be very careful about this. Now we are coming to again search engine. So these are the search engines. So usually we are familiar with the Google and then Bing or the DuckDuckGo, but the hackers search engine is Shodan. The Shodan is giving you more and more information if you are wish to make your career in the especially in the hacking purpose. So you have to be make expertise in how to use the student and how to make the queries of student on the basis of the code, on the basis of their name on the devices. So it records how many devices connected to your PC also. So that is why you type the webcam. So if the any webcam is connected to your devices and it is on, it is also giving the specification of that webcam. And if the port is open, you can easily get the access of your webcam also. One incident already happened in the Mumbai. Related this one person who is having friendship with one girl, and then send some malware in her laptop and could access her laptop's webcam. So from remotely, he was capable of to access that webcam from his own place. So that girl was doing each and every activity of that girl. He was recorded, and even though her private moment also he recorded. Uh, so and he put it on those clips on the YouTube also, and then he caught by the Mumbai crime branch. So these are the things you have to be keep in mind meanwhile you are using. So that is why I'm asking you in this session, we are just discussing that these are the things which we are familiar with, but we are not familiar with the technology. We know that the search engines are, but we do not know what kind of how much capable of these search engines. We know the DNS, but what is the role of DNS? We know the browser, but what is the role of browser? That's why we are just discussing this thing now. Web server, we already discussed about what is the role of web server. Web server is just a machine which is keeping all the websites of all over the world. And when the web browser is requesting to that web server, the websites, it usually give the results to the uh, browsers, and browser shows that result to our PC. But in this simple process, there are one mediator is also there, that is DNS. First, our browser goes to the DNS, get the IP address of desired website or web page, and again go to the server, and server on the basis of that IP address searches the particular website in his database, and its server-side scripting language, or we can say server-side application working to do the things. And then once they found that particular web page, they converted into the user's understandable form, that is HTML, because our system is digital system. We are capable of to only see the digital data, that is HTML format. But on the server, this all websites are stored in the different format, that is .asp format. So web server, the primary function of web server is to store the process and deliver the web pages to the clients. Clients means the browser. The communication between the client and server takes place using the hypertext transfer protocol, that is HTTP. HTTP, that the pages delivered are most frequently HTML documents. So they once they do request with the help of hypertext transfer protocol, we got the result in the HTML format, that is hypertext markup language. So which may include the images, style sheets, and the addition to the text content also. So web server is looking like this. I have another pictures of web server. This is the photographs of web server. Web server is not a one PC with the monitor, or we can say that keyboard and mouse. It is a group of hard disk, or we can say a bunch of hard disk keeping in the racks, and then group of racks and group of various channels along with one place, acres and acres of place. That is why it is very huge. And these all hard disks are always on and on, 24/7 by 365. That is why it is available for each and everyone available in this universe, in the every corner of the world. Anyone can, in the any time zone, they can ask and they can request, and they will get the desired web page with that. Now, one term came in the our discussion, that was IP address. Now we are coming to the that term also. What is exactly this IP address? IP address is the, we usually understand that IP address is the logical address of a particular PC. See, if you do not have any wish to interact with any other computer, you never needed the IP address. If your system is a standalone system, so you never need the IP address. But if you are wish to connect with the another computer or a group of computer, or we can say that a group of networks, that is internet. So you need one IP address for your system. Something called, if I do not wish to connect anyone, I do not need a mobile number. But if I wish to connect with someone, I need one mobile number, and I need the another person's mobile number also to call a person. The same case with the IP address also. If a PC wish to interact with another PC, the both PC must have the IP address, and then both the IP address must be unique. Must be unique means all similar IP address, just like a mobile number. Both the persons may have a different mobile number, a different network, or with the same network with a different mobile number also. But the different number will be same series, but the number will be different. So the Internet Protocol address, IP address, is a unique address that computing device such as personal computers, tablets, smartphones use to identify it and communicate with other devices in the IP network. So if I wish to ask wants that what is my IP, so how come we know that, हम कैसे पता करेंगे कि हम हमारा IP एड्रेस क्या है? तो सिंपल थिंग है, हमें सिर्फ नेट पर, अगर अब नेट पे है हम लोग, तो हमको नेट पर जाकर जाना है, and we need to simply type what is my IP. So this is the IP address, but this is not my IP address. This IP address is related to me, but not my exactly my PC's IP address. This is the IP addresses of my internet service provider, ISPs. So we will discuss about that also. What is the role of ISP? Now we are coming to the IP address. There are two different versions of IP address. One is IP version 4 and second one is IP version 6. So there is two standard IP addresses. So IP version 6 is all computer IP addresses have an IP version 4 versions addresses. The format of IP address is 32-bit numeric address written in phone numbers separately by the periods, dots. Each number can be a 0 or 255, 255. For example, 192.168.14.23 would be an IP address. अब मुझे अपनी मशीन का IP एड्रेस पता करना, तो मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ? There are two way. One is simply go to the Windows and go to the network. Go to the property, change it after. If my computer, now my computer is having that from Wi-Fi, so from here I can get the IP address configuration and IP address here. But there is no IP addresses available because there are two schemes. One is obtain an IP addresses automatically and obtain, and another one is using the IP address by manually. But I cannot give the manual IP address because this laptop we usually use here and there. So if I put the fixed IP address by manually, so there will be only one network it will be connected through which the IP address I have entered. But the various places, various routers, various Wi-Fi, if I wish to connect from various Wi-Fi time and again, so we wish to have the automatically, or we can say dynamic IP allotment scheme, that is obtain an IP automatically. In that case, how can we go and think of that IP address? What is my IP address? So simply we can double click on that IP address,
I'm not able to get the voice.
Gaurav sir, are you there? Gaurav sir, are you there? सर ज्वाइन हो रहे हैं कुछ समय में हमारे साथ फिर से।
Am I audible to all of you?
Yes sir.
Okay, fine. So I'm just sharing my presentation once again. मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है सभी को?
नो सर, अभी नहीं.
स्क्रीन शेयरिंग में कुछ
Yes sir, now visible.
अच्छा, अब मेरा दिख रहा है स्क्रीन
Yes
में?
sir, yes. Yes.
पीपीटी दिख रहा है? ओके, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच.
Yes.
So now I am telling you that each and every device which you are connected in this internet has one IP address. Suppose you have one PC with you, so your laptop is also having one IP address. Through one router, you are accessing the internet from your home place, so that router is also having one IP address. From the router, the internet connection is coming from your ISP, internet service provider. That ISP is also having one IP address. So meanwhile you are doing mail to someone or interacting with someone, your IP, all three IP address will be also sharing. So that's why the law enforcement agency, if you have done some unlawful activity, so they may caught you with the help of your IP address. In the even in the case of they may just request to the service providers, whether it is a telecom service provider or social media platform service provider, like in the case of Facebook, in the case of Gmail, Google, in the case of LinkedIn, they used to ask to LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Facebook to please provide the IP address of that particular ID. And with the help of IP address, they may also find your session logs also. How many sessions you have connected with someone. So that is also be reflecting in your session logs. So with the help of session logs, we can also predict what kind of activity you are indulging with, or what kind of interaction, what kind of messages you have exchanged with each other. So the time duration will be also there. So you can't deny that this is something called your digital footprints. Digital footprints means your digital pug marks. So, and it will be not vanished completely. One or another server may have copy of it, and you may be caught. So now internet is coming first to the service provider, and from service provider it is coming to my router with one IP, and from router to coming with my PC with one IP. So there are three IP associated with my uh, PC. So if investigation will be going on, so easily I will be caught that from which ISP, from which routers, from which IP address used by me, and how long my session was established. So it is also be seen, like one case happened in the few 8 to 10 years, 7 to 8 years back. That is one uh, Talwar family in the Delhi. There's a movie also going on. So CBI investigated that router of that particular girl, she was murdered by someone. So it's still Arushi murder case, if you know that Arushi murder case at Delhi. So it was investigated by CBI 2 times. So with one theory, with the Delhi police, so they said that the neighbor or the servant did that these things. Then the CBI came into picture, and then they came with the different theory that it was actually the parents, they may be culprit or they may be suspected. So they found that router of that particular internet router of that Arushi, it was 2 to 3 times open and shut. If somebody is died by 11:30 or 11 to 12, how come that router is active by 1:30 to 2:30 a.m. in the morning? So that was the lead they just got from that cyber investigations. So it means that somebody after she died, somebody wants to or wish to destroy, or we can say clean up their system history, as well as internet history, as well as internet searches to her system. So that was the conclusion of the CBI, because this device cannot be denied. So that's why this is digital footprints. If somebody is opening or shutting, so that section will be also there, that okay, from today late night I am working, I am just completed, I will completed my work by 1:30, let us say, or 2:30 a.m., and just I sleep. So it is recorded that till 2:30 my router was active, my router was getting the packets and sending the packets, means somebody is surfing on the internet. It is not idle. It is sending and receiving the packets, means somebody was interacting with the system. So this is the digital footprints and digital evidences which can't be denied by anyone else. Now there are two versions of IP version 4 and IP version 6. IP version 4 is only capable of to show and to express the IP addresses in numeric numbers, like 192.168.14.1, like 172.16.254.1. But IP version 6 is also another version. That version is capable of to show your IP address in hexadecimal value also. That is why when I typed here, what is my IP? My IP is coming like this. So you may be thinking, oh my God, what kind of language is this? So this is numeric plus hexadecimal value. See, you know that there's a number system available, number system. So this is the computer number system. I'm just showing you. I'm just making it more closer. So this is our decimal number system, our number system for our understanding. This is binary for computer understanding, computer number system. And this is hexadecimal value. 0 to 9, it is just like our number system, like 0 to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And from 10, it is coming like A. So 10 is represented by A, then 11 is represented by B, and then 12 is represented by C, and 13 is represented by D, and 14 is represented by E, and likewise 15 is represented by F. So here 2405 is a numeric, 201 is numeric, 3022 is numeric, and D is what? Value of D is 13. So it means 1382E. E again, 1382E means 14, 14. So this is 138214. This is B means 12, 12535. This is C means 13. So 13 F13 likewise. So this is the example of IP version 6. This is IP version 6. This is the example of IP version 6. So now There are four classes also IP addresses. So different classes of so you and me are using the C number classes. The class A supports the 16 million hosts of each 127 networks. Class B is supported by 65,000 hosts for each in 16,000 networks, and class C is again support 254 hosts and each of 2 million networks. Class D and class E is reserved. Class D is reserved for multicast group, and class E IP addresses reserved for the future use for research and development purposes for aeronautics and cyber or space aeronautics projects. So that's why we usually used the class C IP address, that is 192.0.1.12, 223.255.244.244. This is our subnet mask. So we usually use the class C IP address. Class D and E is reserved for the one is for multicasting, and class E is for reserved for future uses. That's why we usually use the class C type of IP addresses. Now, ISP. See, in cyber investigation, most of the investigation is dependent on the ISP and the data provided by the ISP. ISP means Internet Service Provider. So all the data is basically kept with the Internet Service Providers. So all the ISPs are having the log files. So as and when any case happened, we usually ask to the internet service provider to please provide us the IP log as well as the internet history as well as the browsing history. So all the servers have one copy of the sites or the web pages or the web surfing which you or me usually done. So if suppose if I am indulging myself in some unlawful activity, so one copy is safe. What even though I have just cleared my browsing history and uninstalled my browser also, even formatted my operating system also for the clean internet history, then also I told you there are three IP addresses associated with them. So one log file will be remain keep with the routers also. One log file will be keep with the internet service provider also, or one log file keep with the originator of internet. So there will be a four copy of each surfing of mine, each surfing of each activity of my web activity will be recorded in four different places. Even though I have formatted my system or clean or clear my browsing history, but still there are two or three or four or more copies will be there. That is why I earlier also told you this is your digital footprints. It may be not vanished or destroy completely. One or another server may have copy of it, and anyone who is just indulging this kind of unlawful activity may be caught by one or another service law enforcement agency with the help of these log files. So if somebody is thinking that I have just cleared my system, but this is just like that if you have cleared your call history from your mobile device, and then receivers points also persons just cleared their receiving call history, then also we have towers available. So we have tower call details also. So there are CDR of tower. So once a CDR analysis is going on, the suspect's mobile will be not kept with the security agencies or the other parties related to the suspects. That is something known as B party. But we have the tower location with us. So with the help of tower location, we can get the numbers, all calls records on from which date to which date, from which time to which time, how many calls made by this device, how many SMS made by this device, how many calls received by this device, how many SMSs received by this device, and how many uh, roaming call is committed by through this device. That is also recorded on the tower's location. So that's why tower location is important. The tower location is again the telecom service provider is having, in this case, the TSP, the telecom service provider is the one who has that copy. According to the law, there is a rule of the ISP also. They are supposed to keep all this internet history and record with them, not more than 6 months. Earlier it was 190 days. Now it is 180 days. So till 6 months they can keep your records. After that they are not eligible to keep anyone's records. This is the violation of privacy of the customers. So as far as the law is concerned, in the case of the telecom service provider, they have the privileges to keep the calls details record of one person for 1 year, max to max 1 year, not more than that. After that, they are not supposed to produce that calls details record before the court, and it will be denied as a and evidence. So as a part of evidence, they cannot put after the 1 year. So they can analysis, still they can analysis in your their investigation process, but they cannot produce it in before the courts as a part of evidences. So only 6 months for this all internet history and all records, and 1 year for calls details record for the service providers. Maybe it is the internet service provider or maybe the telecom service provider. They may only have that choice. After that, they are not even that permitted to keep those recording saved in their systems. They're supposed to destroy this record after 1 year. They are not supposed to keep the long time records. If they do, they will also do the violation of law. Now, another address is something called MAC address. That is, you people are not aware of that. The MAC address. MAC address is something called Media Access Control Address. Address is globally unique identifier assigned to the network devices, and therefore it is often referred as a hardware or physical address. So MAC address are a 6 byte, 14 bits in length. So written in the first 6 bits are for the manufacturer, and then these are the manufacturer number, manufacturer, and these are the models and service providers formats. So the first 3 bytes of ID number of manufacturer, which is assigned by the internet standard body. So MAC address is just working like a IMEI number. In the mobile number, we know that in the mobile handset device, we used to access all the devices through IMEI number. Same case with the desktop and laptop also. With the MAC addresses, we can identify the machine and trace the machines. Suppose one IP address is traced from this IP address, the message has sent through this IP address. But if I am having the scheme of dynamic IP addresses, so this IP address is not permanently assigned to me. This time this IP address assigned to me, next time I'll be login, another IP address will be assigned to me. Then in that case, this IP address will be mismatched. So with the help of IP address along with the MAC address is the address which is physical address of the machine, hardware address of the machine. Through hardware address, we can identify that machine, and even that from MAC address, we can even know the manufacturer of that hardware, that who made that machine, whether it is Intel Corporation or ASUS or any other corporation. So the second 3 bytes of serial number of assigned by the manufacturer. So first 3 byte manufacturer company, and first 3 byte the ID number of manufacturer, and second 3 bytes are the serial number assigned by the manufacturer. Likewise, this is the example of the MAC address. MAC address are permanently burned into the hardware by hardware manufacturer, but IP address are assigned to the network devices by the network administrator. So IP address may be changed device to device, but MAC address will be permanent. It is a unique for one device. It will be not changed, though there are some software available through which we can even alter the MAC addresses also. How come we know that what is my MAC address? So again, we have to go to the run command, Windows plus R, then you have to type CMD, then you have to go to command prompt. Here you have to again type ms config, Microsoft configuration, space you have to type ipconfig space / all and enter. So this is the physical address. The physical address of your machine, that is something called your MAC address. And this is provided by the manufacturer. It will be not removed. It will be not altered by anyone. There are tools available. There are procedures available through which we can even change that. But normal course, anyone can't change that IP address, that MAC address without the having privileges. There are software available through which we can even change the IP addresses. So there are Technetium MAC address changer. There is a software free tool available, free utility spoof MAC address through which you can change, but manually it is not possible to change the IP addresses of the particular machine. And IP addresses is the physical address, just like the IP address is the logical address of the machine, and MAC address is the physical address of the machine. And this is not there only one machine is having one MAC address. It is depend on the network interface. See, in my computer, if suppose there are three means of communication, one is Wi-Fi, one is local internet, local area card, LAN card, and another one is infrared. So I have three means of communication. So there will be three interface. There will be three different MAC address. You can see here also. So one Ethernet adapter. Ethernet adapter means local area card, one physical address, one MAC address for that. And even for wireless adapter also, one physical address, that is for my wireless. So I have two interfaces, network interfaces. So it depends on the network interfaces. If I have more network interfaces, there will be more IP addresses, right? Suppose if I make my computer as a hotspot, and if you are using your mobile internet in your mobile through my laptop or my desktop, so there will be another MAC address which is generated through your mobile address. So there will be three MAC addresses. One is my Wi-Fi, one is my Ethernet, and one is your mobile Ethernet. So your mobile Wi-Fi. So there will be three internet. So there will be three MAC address. So how many interfaces will be there? It's depend on the interfaces. If one interface is there, only one MAC address will be there. That is printed on their board, their motherboard. If I have Wi-Fi also available, so one interface is Wi-Fi, so there will be two MAC address. One is for Ethernet, one is for Wi-Fi. If I make my machine hotspot and more devices connected, so suppose if I have connected my smart TV also, there will be one MAC addresses assigned to that my smart TV also. My mobile is also connected through my Wi-Fi from my hotspot. So then another MAC address will be assigned to my mobile device. So how depend on the interfaces which you are having in your system. So I can show you the MAC address even through window. How come we can know that about the MAC addresses? So we have to go to the network, go to the properties, change the adapter. Suppose the Ethernet is there, go to the properties, go to the configuration, advanced. Here the network address. This is my MAC address. So this you can see from Windows itself also. This is my MAC address, and another way to see the MAC address through the command prompt also. So there are way to change the MAC addresses also, but in normal course nobody can change. There are tools available through which easily we can alter also the MAC addresses. So With this, I would like to conclude my session, and I think that the things which I have discussed and drawn light on that things, whether it is IP address, whether it is a search engine, whether it is a URL, whether it is a web server, whether it is a web browser, whether it is a MAC addresses, you may be aware of that this terminology you are using. See, if you send an email to someone, so there will be a five things usually goes with that email. Your IP address, your device IP address means your IP address means your device IP address, your router's IP address, your internet service provider IP address, MAC address of your machine also. So easily one can get the idea about that, that whosoever is sending me the mail, if somebody is having the mail address, we can even identify the machine itself also, and on which machine you have sent me the mail. That is the process of IP address tracing and IP mail tracing also. So we will see in the next couple of days and a few more things related to the cyber security and then cyber vulnerability also. We will also draw some light on the investigation process as far as the investigation process is concerned. So cyber investigation is going on. So we will even will think of that also, and we will discuss that the cyber investigation processes also. So with these words, I would like to conclude my session and hope that you will get the things properly. You will use the internet very wisely. Try to make your digital footprints as good as possible. Try to make and maintain the cyber hygiene. Do not visit the websites which is prohibited. Do not visit the web surfing which is restricted. Otherwise, it is all recorded by the search engines, by the browsers also. As and when time comes, sir, and if you caught by some law enforcement, they will caught all your chatting logs, all your surfing logs, then it will be difficult for you to deny. So please try to make yourself safe. So be vigilant. First, be informed and inform others also. Be vigilant and be safe. With these words, I would like to conclude. So it is, and if you have some query, you can ask the questions. I can handle one or two questions also. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Anybody ask you any question, please proceed. Any question? Anybody?
Okay, fine. So if you have still you if you have some doubt after this session also, you can just note it down. Tomorrow in tomorrow session we will discuss and we will try to solve as much as possible. So thank you so very much. सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पेशेंटली लिसनिंग के लिए। इसी के साथ मैं
Thank
अपने
you, sir.
शब्दों को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Gaurav, sir. RFI team, please close the session.